This is Wayne from My Tech News, and in this video I'm going to be doing a test of the GoPro Hero that I just bought. This is actually a test footage. Fun fact, this is actually my third or fourth attempt of actually trying to make this video. Nothing really went wrong when I made this video. It's just when I made this video I didn't know what settings to have the GoPro at, so I changed some of the settings. I'm shooting at 1080p 30 frames per second, and I'm shooting in the narrow field of view, so I'm not shooting in medium and I'm not shooting in wide angle. I'm shooting in the most narrowest field of view you can do, because in my opinion there is just too much in view when I actually had it set up like that, and I didn't like it. But for some situations it's going to be good, and I probably will be switching back and forth between the different fields of view. I actually like that about the GoPro. That's one reason I bought a GoPro, just because when you extend it you're going to get your whole body in frame, unlike some point and shoot cameras or some DSLRs just don't have a big enough lens and you chop off your head, you chop off your body or whatnot. But with GoPro you just pretty much aim and shoot, and you can't make a mistake on what you're going to be filming. That's why I like GoPro. Now when it comes to me actually shooting this thing right now, I'm actually on my selfie stick, or my pole that I actually got with my accessory pack, and so far I can say that I'm actually loving my experience with this selfie stick. I actually think the selfie stick is actually pretty bomb. I would honestly say, before when I saw people using selfie sticks, I wasn't really a big fan of selfie sticks. I thought they looked weird. I thought they just didn't look right, or just gimmicky, or just people talking to themselves. But now I finally see the real purpose of these things, and now that I have a camera or a GoPro that actually utilizes a selfie stick, I'm actually quite loving the selfie stick. Honestly, if you ask me, I would use the selfie stick more. I might use this as my primary method of using the GoPro. I don't know out in public how I'm going to feel about using a selfie stick though, so I may end up hand holding the GoPro more in public. I don't know how often I'm going to be shooting in public, but for right now this is just a test. So it's got I'm like stuttering right now. Let me know, guys. There you go. Let me know, guys, how you think about the quality of this camera. I don't really have the greatest lighting in this room. I have somewhat of good lighting, but not the greatest amount of lighting in this room. It could be better. I could buy some floodlights. I could buy some additional equipment for it, but this is really all I'm working at right now. I pretty much only have 2 ceiling lights up on the ceiling. There you go, right there. They're both LED light bulbs right there, so they're not the greatest, but they're not the worst either. They're just LED light bulbs right there. But that should get the job done. I think they're like 60 or 70 watts, so they're not the most brightest thing. But I'm in the same room right now that you see me record all my videos in. You just see the white wall behind me. Here is the white wall behind me. The reason I actually shoot on the white wall is because, in my opinion, I think it's less distracting, and I don't really want things behind me. And to be honest, the room that I'm in right now, of course you don't see on camera when I'm actually shooting my daily tech news of the day, or daily video game news of the day. You don't see this room. This room is kind of messy. It's not the worst room ever, but it does have a little bit of clutter in here, and honestly I just don't want it to be distracting compared to what I'm talking about. So that's why personally I shoot on a white wall. I know a lot of people don't like a plain wall because it looks kind of tacky, or maybe it just looks just too basic, but for me I absolutely like that, and that's where I shoot all of my stuff. And this is going to be test footage of me actually riding my longboard with this camera. I know this camera doesn't actually have crazy stabilization. The stabilization on this thing is not the greatest, but it should do the job, and it should be fairly good footage. What I'm actually planning on doing with this camera is I might start vlogging more on my channel. I know some people might get upset because I started out with making unboxings of tech products, or I do a lot of tech stuff on my channel and a lot of gaming stuff on my channel, and that's really what I'm primarily focused on. So I may not do the vlogs all the time. I may do them once in a while. I'm actually quite surprised right now how let me restate this. I'm actually quite surprised how well I'm doing on camera, at least for me myself. I feel like I'm very good on the camera right now. I don't feel like I'm like I'm like scared on camera or whatnot. I feel pretty chill on camera right now. I'm actually surprised, because when I first started vlogging years ago, I tried it a couple of times and I just really felt awkward on camera. I just really didn't feel right on camera, but for some reason, I guess since I've been doing the tech news of the day, I really feel comfortable on camera, and I don't mind being on camera. And I always wanted to vlog, believe it or not. That was always one of my traditional goals, but it just always felt weird to me, and that's primarily why I never vlogged. That's why I stuck with the tech news, the gaming news, and just doing unboxings of products when I first started YouTube. But yeah, back to what I was saying is, on the board, I'm going to be showing you some board footage right after this clip, so stay tuned for that. And the the clip I'm going to be showing you on my longboard is actually going to be a POV of the camera on the board. So it's not going to be strapped to my head, and it's not going to be strapped to my chest, and I'm not going to be holding this camera in any way. The main reason for that is because one, I tried the head strap and I didn't find the head strap too comfortable. Maybe I didn't have it adjusted, or maybe my hair is too much or whatnot, but I really didn't like the feel of the actual headband mounted to my head, so I'm not going to be using that. And another reason I'm using the one that actually clamps onto the board, it just sits on the board and it rotates on the board, is because I don't want to actually get looks in public of people actually knowing that I'm filming and whatnot. It'll be more discreet, and if you're not paying attention, you may not even see it on the board, and that's why I actually want to shoot like that compared to shooting on my head or shooting to my chest, so people won't actually give me looks. That's one problem I'm going to have to get used to. It's going to be hard to shoot in public because I always have that fear that someone's staring at me talking to a camera, or somebody may kick me out or get mad. They may not want filmed, yada yada yada, and that way it'll be discreet. Hopefully I'll get better on vlogging and things like that. So that's my plan, and I'm actually super excited that I actually bought this camera because this gives me more abilities to shoot. Otherwise I wouldn't be shooting on a normal camera, just too big, too clunky, and my hand hurts when I'm actually holding my hand out on the camera. But this thing feels very good in the hand, and it feels like I can go for quite some time. Not gonna lie to you guys, my hand's starting to feel a little bit tired, but it's not too bad. It's definitely better than holding a camera straight out. So this may end up this may make me end up shooting more vlogs on my channel. I'm not going to steer away from the gaming news, the tech news, etc. I honestly don't even know how much I'm going to be vlogging on my channel. But yeah, anyway, I guess I'm just rambling on too much, and I'm just super excited. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the clip right now of me actually longboarding. Oh yeah, before I longboard, I did forget to mention one thing I actually want to do with this camera, which I have plans on doing, is maybe on my channel I kind of want to mix longboarding with the tech news. So maybe I'll be out and about just longboarding, and then while I'm longboarding I can talk to you about the news and about gaming news, so I'm not always just behind the camera on a white wall talking about the gaming news. I can kind of do something different that not a lot of people are doing, and also I can combine my love of longboarding and video game and tech news all in one piece, because I pretty much longboard every single day for my exercise, and I just love just cruising around, and I think it'd be cool to talk about that and talk about gaming news and talk about just other stuff while I'm longboarding. It'll just give me more stuff on my channel, more content, and it would make me super happy to know that I'm actually longboarding and talking about the news. Just something a little bit different, and honestly I am getting tired of talking, but I have to get used to it. That's one thing that does kind of suck when you're a vlogger. You tend to talk a lot, and I am talking a lot right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and cut to the clip where I'm actually longboarding on my longboard. Okay, so I'm actually back on the camera here, and I'm actually quite disappointed. What actually happened was the amount that I put on my board didn't actually stick onto the board correctly. Basically what's happening is the camera is like tilting down too far, so I keep having to readjust it, and it's actually really annoying what's happening. So I'm gonna have to find another way to mount the camera or use the camera while I'm boarding. What I'm thinking about is getting the official skateboarding mount. I know they make an official skateboard mount that's supposed to be better. I'm actually using the one that comes in the box with the GoPro, the little ones that are just sticky with 3mm tape, and those are absolutely junk, and the screw for some reason is not holding the camera down correctly, so I decided to stop before I actually end up damaging my camera. Right now my camera is still in the same condition I got it, but I'm not willing to take the chance, so I'm gonna have to wait until I get a different mount. Or what I might end up doing with my setup, I might actually end up getting I might actually end up using the head strap, because I know the head strap, there's no way the camera is going to fling off if I use the head strap. So I may just end up using a head strap, but I'm going to find a different way to do it. I actually looked back on the footage, and it was quite jerky anyway, although it kept tilting. It basically kept going down because even though I tightened the screw as tight as I can, it just really wasn't sitting right on the board, and I decided to not use that footage. So what I'm going to do is not show you that footage, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm not going to be using that footage. I pretty much wasted a whole bunch of time trying to get the footage right, but for some reason the footage just didn't look right, and it kept sagging too low, so I ended up not using that footage. One thing I did notice checking back on my last clip, the first clip you saw in this video, I noticed that if you put it in, I think narrow, I think narrow, it's still a little bit not wide enough to where I kind of not get my head in frame, so I bumped it up to the medium field of view. So the field of view on this camera is definitely bumped up from narrow to medium. I don't think I want to go full on wide, because I think wide puts too much in the frame, but when I need it I will do the wide frame, but right now I'm doing the medium field of view on my camera right now, so we'll see how that goes in the near future. But that's pretty much a quality test of this camera. Again, I'm shooting at 1080p 30. I'm not shooting at 2K or anything crazy. I'm not shooting at 60 frames per second. 30 frames per second is just fine. So yeah, this has pretty much just been a test of my new GoPro Hero. Anyway guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.